not on the table. I believe that we have funding in there for We the People and those other organizations as well. That would be our last resort to cut any of those programs. Now, we may look at efficiencies. We may look at different things where, I know that, I don't know if this is a good time to put, football team didn't have enough players, we merged with Mount. If we were to have another football team and Mount were to leave, we could have on the team, on the field of team, why would we want them? So those type of things. It would not be an across the board class.
While you're both up here, in Massachusetts, many teams, and they're not rich communities that do that, it's pay to play. All right? And I know we spoke about that way back. And any child who truly not, they get sponsors. Because right now, just transportation's a killer. Absolutely.
It's a personal opinion. I'll never be an advocate of pay to play. My son.
You have the right to your opinion on that, but I have to bring it forward.
Yeah, when we went to a quasi pay to play several years ago, and it was optional, it wasn't mandatory. At that point, my son said he would not pay to play. He would quit the football team, the hockey team, the volleyball team. His feeling being that you will get an awful lot of children that will not come forward and say they can't afford to play, and they won't play. And when you hire coaches in this district, it's mandated that you understand that athletics is an extension of the school day. So if it's an extension of the school day, how do you ask kids to pay? We don't ask them to pay for textbooks. We don't ask them to pay for teachers and classes. They should not be asked to play a sport. And Claire, I completely understand where you're coming from. It may be good in Massachusetts. It's also illegal in the state of Rhode Island.
They fund differently in Massachusetts than we do. And if I may, our students, because of the help of the teachers, are doing so well, and the parents, of course. We have to look at the holistic picture of the student, and it's just not academics. It's athletics, it's music, it's arts, and Bill, you asked the question, we're going to cut sports. I want to ask the question, I have to ask it. It's not even in the thought process, but music, band, arts, all those will not be touched.
Absolutely.
Okay? Yeah. Thank you. Mrs. Esper.
Mr. Chairman, if you would, the number that you just provided, 26,169,209, is $12,000 less than the department's request back in December.
Yeah.
Can you help by identifying what it is in the way of a local appropriation that you're looking for within that 26,169, please?
Sure, I believe it's 19,000, well, it's, $19,731,526. 19 million. Sorry. All right, we're gonna find you.
Is that what you want?
Yeah, 19,000.
Motion, Mr. President.
Does it make sense, Mr. Administrator?
Running numbers.
Okay. Any questions you have? And just for the record, there is, no matter what we decide today, we all get along. We're all going to go to the next issue. We're all going to talk it out. We'll all go have a beer, a drink, or a soda after. There's no problems between the different branches. We're just all fighting for our different pot of money. And we respect everybody's decision here tonight. Thank you.
Just hold up again.
Yeah.
He's still running.
Lisa, you might have time. Lisa. You want to sit together and work with Lisa? No.
coming up.
She's coming.
I feel like so. Did anybody else have any questions, Mr. Lamani? Thank you.
Michael Rapco.
Michael Rockwell, 25 Old Greenville Road. When the voters approved the $7.7 million bond, it's in your budget, and there was an assumption made that there'd be a savings by putting everybody in the Kendall Dean building, $50,000 to $100,000 savings. Now we're finding out that the superintendent's name is not in that building, and now EMA's name has been added. I talked to Peter Branconi, he's not here tonight. So now we're going to move EMA into the Kendall Dean building, and we're not going to move the superintendent into that building. There's not going to be any savings. As a matter of fact, if we move EMA to Kendall Dean, you have to put up a $150,000 antenna, you have to buy an $80,000 generator, and the federal government's not going to pay for it for a couple of years. EMA belongs at Bushy. That's where they belong. They were given 1,000 square feet at Bushy. Now they're given 600 square feet at Kendall Dean. You know, a drop of 40%, the square footage. It makes no sense to move EMA.
You're right, and I did ask Mr. Branconi to meet with the Building Review Committee to discuss exactly that. So that's not, there's nothing, it's today.
Okay, because I spoke to him yesterday.
So there's nothing-
And he was told just to leave.
There's nothing, no, there's nothing set in stone. He's going to meet with the Building Review Committee and we'll discuss it.
All right, so the next issue is how do we get the superintendent and the staff to move to Kendall Dean? I mean, we were led to believe you approved the Kendall Dean renovation and you're going to save money by putting everybody in the same building. So why is that not happening, that we're putting everybody in the same building?
It wasn't putting everybody in the same building. The bond states, and don't, I'm not word for word, but the gist of the bond is that will merge efficiencies. Okay, so just sticking somebody in an office in the same building is not merging efficiencies. What's merging efficiencies is we have finance departments that are working together. We're just telling the superintendent that he has to take an office at Kendall Dean. That's not merging efficiencies because he's not doing anything. He's just taking an office there. It serves no purpose there or he serves over here. Merging efficiencies is when they work together like the telephones or the finance department or something like that. That's merging efficiencies. Sticking someone in an office that they don't want to be at is not merging efficiencies.
So why did the previous superintendent agree to this?
That was the previous superintendent.
I mean, we all led.
That was before me, that was before this building review committee. Things have changed, and for the better too. We have a much better plan than what was originally on the table. That's why we formed the building review committee.
So we're going to use classrooms either at the middle school or the high school for the superintendent and staff?
The superintendent, I'm not going to get into a back and
No,
forth.
but it's not, it's an issue of, the voters were led to believe when John Flaherty was promoting the bond, that there was going to be cost savings, and everyone was going to work together in the same building. The administrator and the superintendent would be in the same building.
Right.
Everything would move at a faster pace.
If I give the superintendent an office at Kendall Dean, tell me how that's going to save the town of Penn. How does putting Mrs. St. Jean at Kendall Dean, how does that save any
So
money?
why did we vote for Kendall Dean?
But just tell me how it saves any money, though. You
Well,
said
why did we vote for Kendall Dean? That's the bottom line.
to merge efficiencies. We have the finance department, the school finance department is going to Kendall Dean.
And who's going to be in the brick building? Right up front.
Well, that's the end. Personally, I feel that would be the ideal situation for the superintendent.
I do also.
but that needs to be expanded.
Let me go back to the budget.
Yeah, there's no room, there's not a lot of room. Mr. St. Jean?
Yes.
What kind of room do you have? Do you have enough space in the Andrews building for what is required for you to be in there with your staff?
Andrews building is actually bigger than what I require.
Yes.
Then, all right.
Thank you for your honesty.
Yeah, then why, all right, then let's ask the obvious question, then why would you want to be in a classroom instead of in the Andrews building?
Actually, I prefer, and again, this is however it shakes out or what the plan is. I think right now the Andrews building is perfect for the finance office. And there is other spaces within the school district that, within these two buildings, non-classroom space that we can relocate to. The classroom that we're in right now is just a temporary one-year arrangement until Kendall Bean was ready. But there are other areas, non-classroom, that we can move to and reduce the footprint on the classrooms. Would it cost anything? And it keeps us closer to the teachers and the students that we work for.
Now, if we're going to keep business aspect, etc., people in Andrews should be at KD. We want to merge in different aspects, and they would be all in one building.
And putting them there, and putting them together would be some kind of efficiency.
It's more efficient, I'd say, if they're all together. And I just feel that at both of these schools, you have principals, you have assistant principals that are managing the school, and I just feel that that's still very close. You can make your presence known in both schools, but it will give them, I hate to say it like this, their own turf. Let them do their thing. They're the ones we hired to manage the school, and if you have to get together, you walk over. Because we don't get that much done.
I agree. So if the finance department does go to Kendall Dean, then you can move into the Andrews building?
I guess.
Or is that something that, I'm not trying to tell you what's best for you. Is that something that you would want to do?
I don't know if it's necessary. But if I could just briefly. So the actual trend in K-12 and education right now is to close out separate administration buildings and move administrators back into the schools. So what's happening here to pull central administration out of the schools into a separate location is kind of contrary to the way most districts are operating now. They find that central office is much more responsive to the teachers and the students and the families when they're located directly in the schools. I came from a district prior in which our administration offices were in the basement of an elementary school, and it was the greatest thing to be there in a school with the kids. So from my perspective, that's what I'm used to, and that's what I recommend. I know things were set in motion prior, and that's what we're all working on right now, but my preference is to stay here and keep everybody here with the kids and the teachers.
One thing, Mr. President, if, I'm not on the building planning committee, but if you were to consider Andrews School, you'd have to make it ADA compliant also. If I remember correctly, there's a short set of stairs. There's no access for folks that have mobility problems, or challenges, excuse me. Huh? Yeah, good little school building, the Andrews building. It's a tough access. Can I, if I may, I'm sorry, please.
All right, so my last comment is, the first floor will be empty, that basement floor will be empty, because you can't put EMA in there, so now you're gonna have an empty floor. And is that cost efficient? That's where we're standing right now. You can't put EMA in that basement floor. So now we have no offices on that floor. And it's a waste of money to use it for storage. I mean, that's the worst thing you can do is a brand new building renovation, and you're gonna use it for storage. That's what it's coming down to. But let me go back to the budget, because I think we've got to focus on the budget. If you go to the capital sheets, you know, we're talking about, yeah, give the school more money, give it 3.5%. But look at the capital. I mean, look at the highway department. I mean, you're asking for sidewalk repairs. You know, are we really serious about repairing our sidewalks?
I am. I am.
It's zero, it's zero money in the budget.
No, but that's the question I'm gonna ask later on, because if you flip the page, Mike, it's possibly covered under another heading. You'll see it pop up under road surfacing and sidewalks.
Yeah, it's not just sidewalk repair, it's road surfacing as well.
Yeah, so you'll see it on another page.
And also potholes for the asphalt rollers and trailers.
Yeah,
Are we concerned about potholes, fixing potholes?
my car, I am.
I mean, some of these potholes, you can't use a vibrator, you need a roller to fix some of these larger potholes. And it's $25,000, it's not a big issue. And then you got the fire department. I don't know enough about the fire department, their communications, they're asking for $225,000. And they're getting budgeted at $86,000, but Joel was not here tonight, so I don't know who can represent and talk about that budget. I don't know if that's a good budget or bad budget.
If there's any question, I'm sure Mr. Van can answer it very efficiently and directly, very involved.
But
If you want to. I'm sure you will. He's so busy.
So go to the capital and the school department. Last meeting, we talked about the concession stand. The question is, you know, I want money to go to the revolving fund, but I want it to be used for the proper item. I mean, is this a misprint? Is this really for the revolving fund, or is this for the concession stand on the capital?
That is for the, I don't know why we started calling it a concession stand, but it's the bathrooms. So buildings with bathrooms at the track. The nearest bathroom for the track is an outhouse, or they come all the way back into the school.
But wouldn't it be better to list it as capital for revolving fund that can be used for other issues too that are coming up? Why does it have to be dedicated to the
That's it, that exact reason. That exact reason it should be. Think about it. There's no bathrooms up there. All right. You know what 12 and 13-year-old girls do? Does anybody know what 12 and 13-year-old girls do instead of using an outhouse? Instead of using a water jar? You know what they do? They hold it in all day. How they do that, I have no idea.
Can we have the high school and the middle school open to use those bathrooms?
That's a, never mind.
We can't open the locker rooms at the high school?
Listen, that's what they've been doing, Mike, but that's very unreasonable. The bathrooms, having a bathroom at the track is not an outrageous request. We have to make a decision at some point, all right? We have to decide what kind of town we want to be, all right? We want to be a town where everything's just okay. We get an okay track, we get an okay parks, we get okay schools, all right? Is that what we want? That was okay with the old guy, all right? The old guy's gone now, and we want better than okay.
Yeah, but if you're going to fund it, you properly fund it with a bond issue. If you want to repair the track, and you want to put up a concession stand, you go to the voters and you ask for $2 million. You do it properly. You don't try to go pay as you go and sneak it in underneath and then stretch it out for 3 to 6 years.
Well, we don't need another bond either.
Well, if you want to do it properly, you want a new field, and if you want concessions and you want bathrooms, and you're going to spend the $2 million, you do it with the voters. That's where it belongs. That's where
I'm not going to support a bond issue for that.
No, we definitely need stuff up there. I mean, I'm on your side on different things, but that's over the top. We have beautiful fields, and we're not gonna have porta johns up there. We're gonna make it nice. I mean, I went to the parks. Our parks are terrible. A lot of things are awful here, and that we should stop right there. Why have a beautiful field, a beautiful school? It looks like a prep school, and we're not having a porta john. We're having something nice. It's when you pull a bond, it costs more money to pull a bond, so you budget it and you make something nice out of it. You know, that's the way I feel too. We've got to stop saying no to all these things. You say no to some things, but you know, it's like seems like